So round 5 of the championship. This is the reversed grid, not fully reversed, which we'll explain as we go along, but Aidan Neate is on pole with Dion Gauda alongside, and then it's Isaac Barashi from Deegan Fairclough, Kai Darianani and Dowie De Decker on row 3. Louis Sharp, who of course was the star of the first couple of races at Donington Park on row 4 with Gabriel Still. Akil Alibi next up from Jack Sherwood, James Pizik and Gustav Johnson on row 6. 7th row, Jaden Parriott and Dan Ginchard, Kanato Lee and Will McIntyre. Kanato winning yesterday's first race of the weekend. And then James Higgins, who is on pole for both of the fastest off the front races. Next to him, Patrick Hoytsenroder. Josh Irfan completing the grid with Sonny Smith. So I mentioned that it was a partial reverse grid, and there is a rule, as Jamie Caroline was explaining to me just now. Delighted to be joined by Jamie Caroline in the comments box again. 103% rule. So if you're not within 103% of the pole time, then that means you have to start at the back, which is a sort of safety consideration.
Yeah, I believe so. I think if you don't make that cut as such, almost like a golf cut.
Yeah.
You then have to start. I don't think your times count basically, and you have to start at the back of the grid, which is a shame because a few people made a few mistakes in qualifying tyre choice wise, and
they're capable drivers, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got fast drivers at the back of the grid, a lot of drivers out of position as well from that, so yeah, the reverse grid race could have been a chance for them to redeem themselves, but unfortunately, yeah, just missing that cut by smallest of margins.
Well, we'll see if it makes a difference to him. It could well do, because it's a big opportunity for the drivers to score decent points. But Aidan Neate really needs some points at the moment. He had 2 very iffy starts at Donington Park. He starts on pole in the blue and pink, gets away really reasonably well. Great start from Deegan Fairclough from 4th in black, who's going to work his way through on the inside in the 87 car. Super start by him. Dion Gauda gets away well too. But you have to say, Aidan Neate has finally put the starting gremlins to rest, as up the inside goes Deegan Fairclough. I'd have said that was Jamie Caroline having a charge up the inside there, but Fairclough's got the lead. Jamie Caroline, what about that?
Yeah, maybe a lack of tyre temp early on in the race, a little lock-up going into turn 2 and a little bit more carnage going on further behind. But
Jack Sherwood in the CDR car is off, sadly. But yeah, that was some start, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was some start from Deegan, starting 4th and went to P2 by turn 1. Just managed to get up the inside of Gauda before Paddock Hill bend, and then must have had good momentum out of Paddock and see the opportunity and took it.
Amazing start too, and that is why, ladies and gentlemen, we have the reverse grid races. The organisers have full confidence in the drivers to deliver. We're looking at Louis Sharp, the 2nd of the cars going through, 3rd of the cars now in shot. He's the championship leader, all over the back of Aidan Neate and challenging for that 3rd place. He's going around the outside of the 57 car, the Rodin Carlin machine. I'll tell you what, he was on attacking form yesterday, wants to get some points here. He was down the order in qualifying, was the young Kiwi. I've got to say, chatting to him and his dad yesterday, they just took it on the chin. They were not, fed up. A lot of drivers' heads go down and they maybe have a sulk and a worry, but he wasn't. He was just getting on with the fitness, getting ready for the racing. An absolutely superb attitude. I think we're going to see the replay of the start, Jamie. So perhaps and off there, sadly, goes Isaac Barashi in the Argenti car, newcomer to racing. He's out. Is that going to be a safety car? We'll come to that in a minute. Here is the replay of the off first of all. So Isaac starting up towards the front, just runs wide, off on the grass, little nudge into the barriers. The yellow background on the number again, as we always say, is because it's a first-year car driver. Isaac did do a couple of races last year. He got a rookie podium yesterday. He was the 3rd of the 3 finishes out of 5 in the rookies, so he'll be pleased to have had a little bit of silverware, but not really the way he wanted to start the 2nd race of the day. So the car's still sorting themselves out as they head around towards the safety car. Deegan Fairclough at the head of the field, the ROKiT competition winner, and Dion Gauda down behind him, and Aidan Neate in 3rd. Louis Sharp is next, and the safety car will pick them up from along Cooper Straight. Comes from the infield just behind the pit lane, and that's being scrambled and getting ready to go as Isaac Barashi will be recovered by the marshals. Jamie, talk us through this start.
So Deegan's obviously got a lot of rear tyre temp and nailed the start. Managed to get past Barashi and Gauda by turn 1. He's carried good momentum through Paddock. Maybe caught Neate out a little bit coming into Druids turn 2, and that's actually quite a big gap, it looks like, from here.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he's just dive bombed as such, committed, and had a tiny little lock up, but I'm not sure if they made contact or not, but he's definitely seen the opportunity and took it.
right now, there is no conflict of interest at all. That's the moment we saw Jack Sherwood spin around. The others did well to go through. Kai Darinani in the blue Virtuosi car nipping through as well. Another angle. No conflict at all, but I know you do a bit of coaching with Deegan. So did you talk through the start with him and what happens at Brands with the cambers and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I did mention that he might be a little bit downhill and he might have to have a little rest on the brake or whatever, but the main thing was everyone starting on new tyres. Tyre temp was so important, and getting the rears in and getting a good start and carrying that momentum through turn 1 to have a chance at attacking them into turn 2 was so important. And I wouldn't say it's because I told him to do it, but he's done a pretty good job.
That's very modest of you. It's a totally, the other thing we were chatting before we came to this race, we dive up a little bit on the grass. If there's a gap, you go for it, as what is now something of a cliche, I suppose, goes, but through into the lead. And that is what, you know, the fans here want to see. The viewers want to see overtaking and seeing drivers having a go and going through. But this is, as we were saying before the race started and we were off air, totally different discipline for Deegan Fairclough. Raced in the Fiesta Junior Championship, so he's gone winning this competition prize through iRacing or e-racing, call it what you will, and then having the opportunity to move up from racing Fiestas, which are relatively standard, for a great championship, but then coming into full-blown FIA sanctioned racing formula. Big ask for him.
Yeah, it's a big ask. I mean, I've done a little bit of sim prep with him on the sim, and to be honest, he doesn't need that from me because he's so bloody fast on them. But yeah, it's a great initiative from ROKiT, obviously sponsoring the championship and giving drivers without the financial backing the opportunity to get in the championship, just because it's so hard nowadays for them. And he definitely looks like he belongs here. He had a good name and very reputable in Fiesta Juniors. He still does drive this Formula 4 car a bit like a Fiesta Junior, which I probably did a little bit of that after Ginetta Juniors myself. But no, I mean, he's doing a good job. He was fastest lap in the race yesterday. He currently has the fastest lap now by a staggering 7 tenths. So he's definitely doing something right, Nettin.
He is. He's been very exciting to watch. It was great news. Great for JHR to have him on board. JHR, big supporters of young drivers that, you know, everyone struggles for resources, but they help, as the other teams do, as best they can to get them in. That's that first corner or first Druids incident. Jack Sherwood, who was on the podium at Donington Park, well, super podium there. Just goes to show how fortunes can change. So still under safety car. Deegan Fairclough will be looking in his mirrors at Dion Gowda in that second position. Aidan Neat in third, ready for the restart. Lights are off. Scott Stringfellow did a bit of single-seater racing himself back in the day, getting up to Formula 3, bringing the safety car into pit lane. We're about to go ROKiT F4, certified by FIA Racing once again here at Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit, and that's a decent restart that Fairclough has done. Dion Gowda maybe needed to wake up a bit from that. We've got to move down the inside run there. Going through was Gustav Johnson, the young Swede who took his first rookie championship win yesterday. More importantly, was in the top 10 and got championship points. Remember, on the reverse grid racing, it's the top 6 drivers that score points, plus each individual driver scores an extra point for every place gained from starting position. So those guys that were starting outside the 103, 103%, they can actually get 10 points just for making up 10 places in the race. So although they get punished for maybe having an issue in qualifying and being back. And look at this racing going on here, and around the outside goes before Jimmy Pazik in the mix as well, a little bit further back. So Pazik right in the mix with the 18 car. That is James Higgins. Now James Higgins is coming through. Remember, he started right towards the back as the double pole man. He's dicing with Kanato Lee, who won yesterday's race in high-tech number 6. So Kanato, I know, is delighted to get his first win. He won in juniors and now gets a win in the F4 Championship from what was a very, very wet race indeed yesterday. Top rookie, incidentally, in this one at the moment is Gabe Still, the former karting champion. He's in 5th position overall. And again, this is the really good thing that the championship does in terms of allowing the reverse grid. Jamie, I can't remember what we did when you were with us in the championship. Was it partial reverse, or because it was a big issue about you got the hat trick? That was before the prize came in, wasn't it? That's always a sore point.
Yeah, that was a bit of a sore point when they brought that in.
Did we have was it reverse grid racing back then? I can't remember.
Yeah, we had a reverse grid race too, similar to this.
But it was only partial, wasn't it? So
yeah, it was the top 10 unless there was less than 15 finished, and then it was the 50% of the grid was reversed. So yeah, we had a good few of those. Have managed to win a couple back then. Way back then, it was bloody 6 years ago now. So
it's like, and Piastri's in F1, which is a shame. The man you beat to the championship, and I've made the comment that it's a shame when drivers like yourself don't get the opportunity, and I get derided for it. You know how it works and everything else. But it must be good though to see Oscar up there and doing well. But you must wonder what
Logan there as well. Logan was a good friend of mine at the time. Still speak every now and then. Close with his managers Gary Catt and Harry Soden. So they've done a great job to get him into Formula One. But yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see them achieving what we all set out to do at that young age. Yeah, my path in life has took a different turn to what I expected, but we're all destined for certain things, and maybe I was a little bit too loose to get there.
Wow, a philosophical Jamie Caroline, which is interesting to hear. I'm glad you're here with us, giving us your expertise on this one. We're looking at Jaden Parriott, who's a great little lad, comes up and has a chat, but Sonny Smith has come right through, another of the JHR team runners, who has come through from the back of the grid, the 72 car, up into 9th place. So we can say there he's got the maximum 10 points for places gained here, Sonny Smith. This is good stuff. Now he switched teams, hasn't he? What, is there a story behind that, or?
I'm not too sure the story behind it.
But he has joined JHR.
But he has, yeah. He was with Argenti at the start of the year at Donington, and then JHR here. He had a test with JHR in the week as well to get to know the team and everything. So yeah, he's made a good start, good progress throughout the race, starting dead last, and now he's got the maximum points. And now it'll just be trying to get past Parriott and put a charge on Ginchard as well. But that gap is probably going to be a bit too difficult to close. But I mean, yeah, he's showing good pace as well, and yeah, doing a good job.
Ginchard 7th place from 14th on the grid, so that's 7 championship points for him. It does top out at 10, a maximum of 10 for places gained, and that means that whoever wins the race, if they come through and get the 15 points for the win here, the 10 places gained points would make it up to the maximum normal points that you get in FIA Championship races for 25, which is how it's worked. Gowder coming under pressure from Neat, then we've got Louis Sharp still in 4th position, and I think maybe now realising that he's got the chance of bagging a few points here and holding on to the championship lead. Noah Lyle is he's 2nd in the championship. He's away, the Aussie racing in the Spanish F4 championship in Belgium, just to add as many countries as we can into the sentence. So yeah, he's away racing on that, focusing very much on that at the moment. Louis Sharp, after before the safety car, Louis was looking, I think, a lot stronger. And is it a case now of championship lead and thinking about points, or he's going to want a podium and the extra points that go with that, but he's not quite looking as racy as he did for me at Donington?
No, I mean, he was very unfortunate yesterday. Whether he had contact or not, I'm not too sure, but he had a little off, and I think now it just, like you said, damage limitation and try and get as many points as he can. Championship lead, it's hard to think about the championship so early on, but all the points add up from every race of the year. So you look back later on in the year, if he's won the championship, or whoever wins the championship by 2-3 points, you look back to earlier on saying, yeah, I used my head and I was clever with how I went about it and didn't take too many risks.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You've got to think it all through, and he was certainly having a charge yesterday, and a little moment on the grass and straight on into Druid, sadly, but it was good close racing for sure. Kanata Lee, briefly we had a look at there, the Japanese driver in the number 6. 23, Gustav Johnson, 2nd in the rookies at the moment, but a fair way back down behind Gabe Still. There he goes through. So Johnson from Pat Hoitzenroder, the Aussie with a Germanic sounding name, goes back, I think, generationally. As down behind them, number 6 car, Kanata Lee, Jimmy Pizik in the mix as well, and then the 78 of Jack Sherwood, who's come back well actually from that off on the first lap. So the safety car, he did manage to rejoin, and just checking that he is on the lead lap, indeed he is. Dowie De Decker is the last of the runners at the moment. He's down in 19th place and a lap adrift for early problems for him. As we look at Kanata Lee trying to close up on Jimmy Pizik in the number 4. Battle of the 2 high-techs with Jack Sherwood down behind them, but a quick look back. Fairclough's checked out here. This is good. You're going to be happy with him.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from it from my side, but you look at the live timing we have here in the booth, and it's fastest lap after fastest lap, purple sectors, and just got his head down and dead consistent, which is really nice to see. Yeah, maybe he's just in a rhythm and doing his own thing out in front. I mean, he's took 3 seconds out of Gowder now, and like we said, he's another purple sector 1, so he must have really looked after those tyres, which is something he's not too known for. Usually he's known to kill them, so yeah, he's doing a great job and just extending his lead.
What's he going to have tyre-wise for race 3 though?
I think everyone's in the same boat because we had the wet race yesterday.
So you've got plenty of
wet
rubber.
Qualifying, some used new tyres in qualifying, so I believe everyone will have a set for each race, or at worst new lefts. So
It's amazing to see in these reverse grid races that, you know, the guys could pick up a first win. As I say, the format is designed to do that. It's to give confidence, it's to give viewers a little bit of variety of the people at the front. But you know, in this race we've got some very quick drivers at the front. The likes of Aidan Neate, who won last year, is in his third season, not third full season, but third season in the cars, starting on pole with Gauda Barashi and company all there as well. But Fairclough 2.9 seconds down the road as we look at Louis Sharp, the Kiwi, still back in 4th place. Here is Deegan Fairclough. I know the BRSCC, British Racing and Sports Car Club, they've got an event on at Croft this weekend, but they keep a keen eye on what this graduate from the Fiesta Junior Championship is doing. And Joseph Loke did well, didn't he, as well? Another graduate from Fiesta Juniors doing well in single-seater racing. And you know, it's fantastic. We've got this wonderful set of junior formulae across the country. I think it might change next year, some new ones coming in, so we hear more of that and on. But Fairclough, nobody to race with. He's done all that at the start, and as the clock ticks down with just 3 minutes 44 on the clock remaining, out of Clearways through Clock Curve onto the Bradham Straight once again, and still, as you say, Jamie, purpling it across the line. Is there anything you can critique him on and say to him for race 3?
Maybe consider the gap you've got and chill out a little bit instead of still pushing. I mean, you watch him.
Was that part of your philosophy, though? I mean, you just...
I always used to like to think I would be able to manage a race if I had the gap.
Sure.
It's almost a maturity thing. I was a little bit older than Deegan was when I was doing it. I probably made a few more mistakes in my junior career and learned from them. But yeah, I mean, it's just getting your head down, getting the gap, minimalising mistakes, and just being as consistent as possible. And from his best lap to his last lap's half a tenth apart. So he's definitely nailed the consistency side of things in this race.
Got some work to do. 14th on the grid for race 3, just having a quick look at James Higgins. Now he's on pole for race 2, James Higgins, and he really impressed me, James Higgins, in the first weekend of the year, and then came and messaged me last night and was saying qualifying, you know, he said he sort of hinted at lucking into it, but it's a strategy thing. You know, pole is pole. You've gone out, if you've made that decision with the team and gone out and delivered the lap, fair play to him for doing it. Double pole, James Higgins and the Fortec team. Lovely to see them doing it. Gauda still coming under pressure from Aidan Neate. This is for 2nd and 3rd position. Deegan is already the length of Cooper straight clear of 2nd and 3rd place. Louis Sharp settling for that 4th at the moment. Gabe Stilpin 5th, still top rookie. Akil Alibi trying to get on the mix there and get ahead of the leading rookie driver at the moment. Akil point scoring well too at the moment. Did well yesterday. A couple of non-finishes at Donington, which was a shame, but he did show point scoring pace earlier on in the race meeting. Across the line we go again, onto I think what is probably going to be the penultimate lap of the race, and Gauda still there in 2nd position. The Carlin racer, 2nd in race 3 at Donington, raced in the UAE over the winter months, kept himself sharp, gained experience of these cars, had point scoring races out there as well. And Aidan Neate in the 57. It's actually the only pole position setter from last year back in the championship this year, Aidan Neate, and putting pressure on. It may be that he will settle for the podium as well. So after the starting issues at Donington, just get a little bit of race rhythm going, get a result under his belt, and then start to build from here. We might get another 2 laps possibly in. So across the line we go again. Deegan Fairclough is still, such is the pace. It might have been only one more to go after this, but Deegan is that far ahead. He could squeeze an extra lap of track action out of this. That has been a very dominant performance so far. Gauda 2nd, Neate 3rd, Louis Sharp in 4th place. Here comes Gabe Stilp. Now Akil Alibi coming under pressure from Daniel Ginchard here in the red, black and yellow Chris Dittman racing car, and the Englishman putting the South African under pressure. Dan Ginchard came straight into F4 from karts. You might recall Akil Alibi had coming in and racing in the Ginetta Juniors and was a podium finisher. Very tall lad as well, and Ginchard trying to close in, had a little bit of a torrid time at Donington with a couple of bits of contact which sent him out of the race. Again, handling it very well, I've got to say, very maturely indeed, and you know, not throwing his toys out of the pram at all, Dan Ginchard, as far as I can see, and always happy to come out and have a chat, explain how he feels, and just getting on with the job as best he can. A little bit of a lock up there from Gauda. Gauda feeling the pressure, Jamie?
Maybe, yeah, just feeling a little bit of pressure from Neate behind. Neate's been just an arm's length away from him the entire race, and it's just so tricky to overtake here, and the only overtaking opportunity is so readable, it's so easy to defend it. So in these cars you get so much aero wash as well now. They've got a lot more aero than way back when I drove them, so it's just tricky to get the momentum out the last corner. Like you see there, Neat just drops off the back of Gowda there, and the slipstream isn't enough to attack into turn one, and Fairclough taking the checker flag for, I believe, his first win of the season.
It is Deegan Fairclough's first win in single-seater racing. That is a milestone. You may well have to remember, viewers. Deegan Fairclough takes the win. Dion Gowda second, Aidan Neat in third, then Louis Sharp. Gabe Stilt wins the rookie category and takes fifth position in that, followed by Akil Alibi, who held off Dan Ginchard. Jaden Parriott in eighth from Sonny Smith up into ninth place from the back of the grid. Having just heard Jamie saying how difficult it is to overtake, some of those guys from the back have come through. Deegan Fairclough did some overtaking as well, some fantastic starting. What a superb race that was for this youngster, and great news, JHR of course now on the top step of the podium this year as well. They've been used to that in the past in single-seaters, but fantastic to have that confirmed for this season, and we'll see what Deegan can do in race 3 a little bit later on. Remember, the narrative now of F4 is that the fastest driver's lap from qualifying sets the grid for race 3. So we have qualifying, and the narrative, the momentum builds up towards race 3. So you've got to keep yourself in your car, your tyres, if that's an issue, up to scratch, and save that potential for the fastest off the front race. There's Jacob Ebry, the photographer, getting involved and getting the moment, as ever he does so brilliantly, with Deegan Fairclough just appreciating that moment as well. That was good of him to wait there, and how aware are you in Parc Ferme of stuff like that going on, Jamie?
I'm not sure if he was making sure the car wasn't going to roll into Jacob in front of him, or just taking it in.
He's aware now though, but yeah, first win.
The adrenaline's still going until the checker flag, and then it all settles in. Every now and then you'll have a little tear of happiness on the in-lap, and then you get your chance to celebrate with your team when you get into assembly area. So yeah, great job by Deegan, showed great pace throughout the race, setting purple after purple after purple. So yeah, strong effort from a lad who's so inexperienced in this car still.
Yeah, all young. They look younger all the time to me as well, getting to my age. Hey ho. Let's have a look at how they finish. Round 5 of the ROKiT F4 British Championship, certified by FIA. A maiden win. Congratulations, Deegan Fairclough. Dion Gowda second from Aidan Neat. Louis Sharp in fourth. Gabe Stilt wins the rookies. He's in fifth from Akil Alibi and Dan Ginchard. Jaden Parriott in 8th, and then Sonny Smith and Will McIntyre wrapping up the top 10. 11th goes to Gustav Johnson, second in the rookies. James Pezic is 12th from Kanato Lee. James Higgins 14th, and completing the rookie podium is a double rookie winner from Donington Park, Josh Irfan. Jack Sherwood recovered very well indeed to get 16th after that first lap incident. Kai Darianani in 17th from Patrick Hoytzenroder. Problems, whatever they were, for Dowie De Decker and Isaac Brashy, sadly, our earlier retirement. So championship standings, we're 2/3 of the way through our second event of the season. Louis Sharp with a 12-point lead. Deegan Fairclough up into second. I completely forgot about championship standings. Deegan Fairclough into second. Dion Gowda third. Noah Lyle in absence is down to 4th place. Then it's Kanato Lee, yesterday's race winner. Will McIntyre 6th. James Higgins 7th. Aidan Neat 8th from Dan Ginchard and Akil Alibi. The picture is building in F4. Here's the rookie championship standings. Gustav Johnson now 2 points clear of a tie for second. We said it was going to be close, and it is. Gabe Stilt and Josh Irfan second and third. Dowie De Decker is 4th from Isaac Barashi.